My name is Terry Helton. I'm the Managing Director for Multifamily Programs at Kentucky Housing Corporation. It is a pleasure to be here with you all today in Bowling Green as we break ground on what will soon be a vibrant, welcoming community for 256 families, Echo Trail. On behalf of KHC, I want to thank each of you for being here to celebrate this milestone. I'd especially like to recognize LDG, PNC, the Kentucky Department of Local Government, and all the local leaders and community members who have helped bring this project to life. At KHC, our mission is simple but powerful: to invest in safe, quality, affordable housing for Kentuckians. And today, that mission is taking shape here in Bowling Green. KHC is proud to have invested $40 million, including $37 million from taxes and bonds for Echo Trail. We are also proud of how quickly LDG has been able to get this project underway, as this is the first awardee from the 2024 Western Kentucky Disaster Funding Round. So we are really excited. This is especially important since we are facing a historic housing shortage. We estimated in 2024 that, for example, Warren County needs over 4,300 rental units. So thank you, LDG, for answering that call. These 256 garden-style apartments will be a combination of 1, 2, and 3-bedroom units intended to meet the needs of families of all sizes. But this development is more than just about housing. Echo Trail will feature 15 residential buildings, clubhouse, fitness center, business center, community room, a pool, and so on. I want to thank LDG Development for their leadership, their vision, and our financing partners for their commitment to making this project a reality. This is an excellent example of what we can accomplish when the public and private sectors come together with a shared purpose. I can't wait to see the sites transformed into a place where families will build their home futures. Thank you again for your partnership, your support, and your commitment to affordable housing. Thank you.
The 2021 tornado event, devastating for all of Western Kentucky, Bowling Green, I think Housing Urban Development categorized Warren County as one of the places most in need of low-income housing units because of the number of displaced renters and displaced self-owners of low to moderate income affordable housing. And so a project like this is just incredible. The vision that it takes to do something like this, to provide a community, a neighborhood with the pool and the playground and all of those things. And you just look at the footprint of this area and where it's at, the opportunity that's going to be here for every individual and family that gets a chance to come live here in the future. So I just want to applaud all of the development interests, all the banking interests, all the engineers, all of the local government officials, everybody involved in making this project. So I just want to congratulate you guys. So the disaster recovery program is part of allocation that the Department of Local Government received in 2021. We had to write up a state action plan, work very closely with Kentucky Housing Corporation to do that. Kentucky Housing Corporation, obviously, in the last couple of years has released their needs assessment, basically for housing in Kentucky, and anybody that's been part of this work knows that we are deficient, as much of the country is. And in terms of the number of housing units, not just that we need for the people that are here now, but to develop in the future. And Warren County is a place that it's just, I was telling Judge earlier, it has just busted at the seams the last 20, 30 years. And it's a prime opportunity for job creation, job development, retention, new schools, but it all takes some place for somebody to live, some place that they can call home. And the opportunity to do stuff like this is not unrecognized by the staff at the Department of Local Government. And that's really who I'm here to represent, other than the governor, is the people who are there in Frankfort that work hard to help the dreams, the visions that the communities, the developers have to support the need locally and to help that come together. And so using this disaster recovery money to leverage financing, to leverage Kentucky Housing Corporation's assistance, is exactly what we're all about. And so, like Brett said, we have about $13 million of disaster recovery money that's going into this. And to see the number of people that it's going to serve, 256 apartment homes, 16 buildings, it's just an incredible feat. It's an incredible accomplishment for you, all of you. The governor likes to talk these days about building our new Kentucky home, and this development is going to be one of the keystones of that, and something that we can come back to once it's complete, once the people first move in and those keys are turned over to the first occupants. It's going to be a really proud day, and I know the governor himself will be excited to be back here.
When you think about a development like this, we are going to be at 233,000 by 2050. So that is the equivalent of adding a city of Bowling Green to the county in 25 years. And so we have to have things like this. So for those of you not from Warren County, you actually are sitting in a site of devastation. 3.5 years ago, we had a tornado that started in the western part of our county, came right through here, almost through Western's campus, through our downtown bypass, a business district, and out all the way past the Trans Park, went almost the whole length of the county. And 17 Warren Countyans lost their lives that day, and so truly that day was the worst day, I think, in the history of Warren County. And the next day was one of the best days, and the next day after that was one of the best days. The next day after that was one of the best days, because what you saw was the greatness of a community coming together for their fellow man and taking care of the needs of that. And so we fast forward to a day like this. We lost over 500 homes in 4 hours. So we already have a significant housing issue in Warren County. That growth, you cannot keep up with it. So we're only 12 to 15,000 homes short right now. And then when you lose 500 homes, it's a tough situation. Fast forward to today, and what an unbelievable opportunity for some great people. But we had an opportunity actually on a different project to go visit with the great people of LDG. I cannot tell you enough about them. It was a great visit. I think what you're going to see, though, if you hear 256 attainable housing units, you might have in your mind what you might think that's going to look like. I'm going to promise you that's not what it's going to look like. It's going to be something we're all going to be extremely proud of. Their architecture, their style, their finishes, everything they do is first class. And so we're very fortunate to partner with LDG on this. I want to thank the Department of Local Government for their work on doing this and seeing the need. So this is a tremendous day for us. We're excited 1 year from now to be looking at this and having people move in. But what a difference it is that today is the start of 250 families living the American dream, having a great place to live so they can be productive citizens in the fastest growing county in Kentucky. So thank you again for everyone coming out today. Thank you to LDG. Thank you to all the partners involved. We're excited about this project. Thank you.
At PNC, we understand two things that everyone here today recognizes to be true. And the first is that if we're going to deliver on our community's largest and most challenging needs, it's going to take perseverance, drive, creativity, and most importantly, the collaboration of multi-stakeholders from government, private, and public sector. And secondly, one of PNC's goals is to move everyone forward financially. And if we're going to achieve that goal, every family needs a place to call home. Workers need a place that they can afford and that they're proud of to sleep in every night if they're going to come to work the next day and perform. Children need a place to sleep and lay their head every single night if they're going to show up at school the next day ready to learn. And communities are only going to be better when families have a place that they are proud of to call home. And so as the state's largest bank, PNC is committed to doing our part to contributing to solutions in affordable housing that make those a reality. And that's why I am proud to share that PNC is slated to directly invest more than $30 million in low-income housing tax credit equity, as well as nearly $23 million in a permanent construction to permanent loan to bring this Echo Trail apartment complex to life. Today is certainly an occasion to recognize the ongoing growth of Bowling Green as the state's largest and fastest growing community, but it's also a day to recognize the resilience and, as you mentioned, what can come from our worst days to lead to some of our best days. So we are very proud to be a part of this and play a role in making today a reality. Thank you for your partnership, and thank you all for your leadership.
I do also want to thank PNC. So these deals are complicated. They're hard to get done. There's financial risk. There's partner risk. There's all these things you have to deal with. And it's not always easy, but we appreciate you sticking with us, helping us get it across the finish line, and to develop housing that's much needed for the fastest growing county in Kentucky. So we're excited about that. Casey, thank you. You've been great partners with us for decades. And, we stand at an interesting place in history in that 20 years ago, when you talked about affordable housing, communities like Warren County, communities like Louisville, where we're based, would say, well, yeah, we need more affordable housing, but really we've got enough housing. But what's really happened over the last 15 years is we do not have enough housing. And so it takes every unit that we can build to house our residents, to give them a place to call where they can start their family, where they can grow and expand and be good citizens and neighbors. And so those challenges are real, but we have a very interesting place in that they just passed some legislation that's going to make more bond volume cap available, more 9% tax credits. And so it wouldn't be me if I didn't challenge you guys to get out in front of it and be the first state to effectively use that bond volume cap. We know that there are needs all across the state for more and more housing. I would be remiss if I didn't thank Miss Christy Robinson, and just thank you. I know, there's a lot of things going on all the time, but we really do appreciate that. And really with that, I think it's time that we break ground so we could get people ready to move in, to advance their family and have a better life. So thank you.
1, 2, 3. Thanks. All right. Thank you.
Well, we're excited about it. This 256 units probably take care of 800 Warren Countyans. A fantastic thing of bringing attainable housing, that I like to say, to hardworking families that are going to make a difference in our community. And it's an exciting day for us to partner with LDG, a great development company that's going to make some big things happen. I think people will be proud of this development when they see the size, scope, scale of it, and so we're excited about it. Again, the tornado, I touched on it, one of the worst days in the history of Warren County. But we had over 500 homes destroyed or badly damaged, and we're in a housing crisis. Fastest growing county in the state, and then you lose all these existing homes. So this development, a 250 at a time development, can make such a big difference for people that I say every person deserves a quality place to live. And so we're excited about the future of these people. They're going to be able to move in here, raise their families, do great things in our community. It really is an impactful thing. 256 units at one time, it's unbelievable.
Kentucky Housing Corporation has been a longtime partner of LDG, and it's a perfect example of a public-private partnership to bring more units to the Commonwealth. We work very closely with KHC on this development and a number of other developments across Kentucky. At this time, we have over 5,000 units in Kentucky that Kentucky Housing Corporation has helped us with providing 4% tax credits and tax-exempt bonds to be able to release those for residents in Kentucky. Echo Trail Development will be a garden-style development with a clubhouse. So at the very entrance, you'll see a beautiful clubhouse that will have a pool, and there'll also be room for a playground. Through it, as you go deeper into the development, it'll be 16 two-story dwelling buildings, basically, that comprise of 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms. We see that we're doing site work throughout the property. What we will generally do is we'll start building out the road and the building pads as we go forward. As it starts getting vertical, we're going to focus first on the clubhouse for leasing, and then the building number one. Through that, we, as we're building them and as they become complete, we'll continue to rent those to future residents all the way until building 16 is complete. Timeline of that, I expect probably leasing operations to start at Q1 of 2026, and we'd like to go ahead and try to get the first building completely built, what we call CO'd, by summer 2026. From that, the expectation is we release close to a building a month. So what that entails is basically between 16 and 20 units a month, which will continue to lease once they get their proper CO'd, all the way until summer 2027, which when we expect final completion of the last building.